The spread of Islam is a fascinating story that begins with the life of its founder, the Prophet Muhammad. Born in Mecca in 570 CE, Muhammad was orphaned at an early age and raised by his uncle, Abu Talib. As a young man, he worked as a merchant and gained a reputation for honesty and integrity. In 610 CE, at the age of 40, Muhammad received the first of a series of revelations from God. Over the next 23 years, he continued to receive revelations, which were later compiled into the Holy Book of Islam, the Quran. Muhammad began to preach the message of Islam to his family, friends, and neighbors in Mecca, but his message was not initially well received. At the time, Mecca was a center of polytheistic worship, and Muhammad's message of monotheism was seen as a threat to the established order. Despite opposition and persecution, Muhammad continued to preach the message of Islam, and gradually, his message began to spread. In 622 CE, Muhammad and his followers were forced to flee Mecca and travel to Medina, a city about 200 miles to the north. This event, known as the Hijra, marks the beginning of the Islamic calendar. In Medina, Muhammad was able to establish a community of believers and continue to spread his message. Over the next several years, Muhammad and his followers fought a series of battles against the Meccans. These battles, known as the Wars of the Ridda, were fought to defend the nascent Muslim community and establish their right to practice their religion freely. In 630 CE, Muhammad and his followers were finally able to conquer Mecca, and the city became the spiritual center of Islam. Muhammad spent the rest of his life spreading the message of Islam and establishing its principles throughout the Arabian Peninsula. Muhammad's message of monotheism, social justice, and equality resonated with many people, and Islam began to spread rapidly throughout the Arabian Peninsula and beyond. By the time of Muhammad's death in 632 CE, Islam had become a major force in the region. After Muhammad's death, his followers continued to spread the message of Islam throughout the world. Within a century, Islam had spread to Spain in the west and India in the east. Muslim scholars and scientists made major contributions to fields like mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. Islam's rapid spread was due in part to the message of social justice and equality that it preached. In a region where social and economic inequalities were rampant, Islam offered a message of hope and a vision of a just society. Islam also emphasized the importance of education and encouraged the pursuit of knowledge, which helped to spread its message to new regions. The spread of Islam was not without its challenges, however. Islam was often viewed as a threat to established political and religious orders, and Muslim communities faced persecution and oppression in many parts of the world. Despite these challenges, Islam continued to spread, and today it is the world's second largest religion, with over 1 billion followers. In conclusion, the story of how Muhammad spread Islam is a fascinating and complex one. Muhammad's message of monotheism, social justice, and equality resonated with many people, and the spread of Islam was aided by its emphasis on education and the pursuit of knowledge. Despite challenges and obstacles, Islam continues to be a major force in the world today, shaping the lives of millions of people and influencing the course of human history.